No one in the recorded history of human civilization has ever made a real ass, cool ass, actually obscure manga recommendations video. So naturally, it fell to me to do it. Mr. One Time Weeb, that's a great point. How about you let me know your obscure manga some other time? Oh wait, you don't have another time! With my arch nemesis One Time Weeb absolutely BTFO'd, I have finally proven myself to be a real connoisseur of the arts, so I expect you guys to actually take my recommendations to heart instead of leaving them to rot on your My Anime List plan to read, especially since I had to read some sizable manga this time around. You guys think I'm just made out of free time? Samurai manga that kinda looks like Blade and Immortal, so yeah, it's pretty decent. The story follows these two boys who lose their family and everything they have thanks to those dirty gaijins bringing in disease and poverty. To avoid losing again, they promise to be stronger. They do this by asking a guy they just met, who had just killed a defenseless girl in front of them, how to get stronger. The man then proceeds to sell them off into a cult, where they are treated like slaves, which they escape from, but then rejoin because they become respected. Yeah, it's a pretty messy manga, but it has great style and good action. The drama is a bit basic since the real narrative is about these kids learning that martial strength isn't the end all be all or whatever, which is like every samurai manga ever, but I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix. The real highlight to me is the length. The manga is over 200 chapters long, and with it came a lot of character development for the main cast. It really is one hell of a journey. The writing and story are like a mixture of Azumi and Blade of the Immortal. It's super brutal and has similar themes to Azumi, but with a larger focus on its cast and moment-to-moment stuff like Blade of the Immortal. It's a great mix, but I would say both series actually edge it out. Again though, it is pretty good. If you're a samurai fan, you have no reason not to check it out. Go get him, Tiger. Here, we have a horror manga about a girl named Ayeshah who has a secret. So, first thing you'll notice is that the art is fucking crazy. It's honestly worth reading it just for that alone, but it has other stuff going for it too, if you can believe it. The cast has a lot of depth for the little time they're given, and the atmosphere of this manga is immaculate. The art does so much for it, and the writing doesn't trail too far behind. I don't want to spoil it too much since 1, it's like 10 chapters long, 2, it's a very plot driven and about to twist type story, and 3, again, no reason not to read it unless you really don't like horror and you can't spare an hour of your time, in which case, what are you even doing here, man? Go back to work, go back to your wife, man. All you really need to know is that it's an evil stepmother type story. But yeah, good stuff. Go read it. Fair warning and a bit of a spoiler. The ending kind of sucks. I don't think it will bother most of you guys like it did to me, but I just want to put that out there. Tainted well with otherwise a great 8 out of 10 manga. Would still read again. Again, super great art. And although it looks like a horror manga, it's actually like a surreal slice of life comedy-ish. You can practically hear the Monogatari soundtrack playing in the back. And also, like the previous manga, it's really short. It's 18 chapters long and most of them are like 8 pages, so again, you have no excuses. When this video comes out, I'm checking out, I'm checking Anilist, I'm checking motherfucking Goodreads to see if the members list went up. I will go through all your guys' social media, and if I find out that you haven't read it 24 hours after watching this video, I will have you hung by your fucking entrails and have you be forced to watch Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 take home awards it clearly did not deserve. Anyways, the synopsis of the story is that we follow this little girl who is actually an adult and her very strange day-to-day life. It's apparently a josei manga, which means I'm a guy who reads josei manga, so you cannot call me uncultured. It's like super cute and charming and has a great immersive quality to it. Yeah, you know I like me my mixed media, mixed art style type shit.
You know, it's like the Amazing World of Gumball.
It's like Blade of the Immortal.
You need to leave! You need to kill you!
You see, it has scratchy ink and pencil work, so it must be like Blade of the Immortal. Like, even Google agrees with me, because when I look it up, this random Blade of the Immortal volume shows up. Truly, the most influential manga you don't know about. Comparing anything to Samura just means it has a high mark of quality for me. The Igega seal of approval, one might say. For the most part anyways. In terms of general story, flow, and tone and action choreography, it is actually most similar to Dia Gelder. Also, by Hiraki Sumura. The story follows a woman named C.A.T, who after being experimented on becomes a high-level super assassin cat girl, the logical evolution of the species past the age of 16. She escapes confinement and goes on a revenge spree against her captors. She wins pretty early on, and now she's just kinda doing mercenary work. Again, this manga is really short, but unlike the other two, it's not really finished, and will never be finished, which sucks because it's really good. This was like a proof of concept run before it going big and official, but then it never went big and official, so this is all we got. That's gonna be a common occurrence in this series. So anyways, yeah, the dialogue good, the characterization is good, the little development that the MC goes through is great. And it's just a very, very sad read, man. Come on, you can have gone on at least one more volume, man. Man. Helter Skelter is a josei manga about female beauty standards in which a shady corporation takes advantage of an insecure woman. I have just described 2 manga. Liliko is a hyper successful model, but the Countess' plastic surgeries have left her body in ruin. Her physical ruin leads to her mental ruin, and so the manga showed her fall from grace. It touched on a lot of themes of beauty standards and stuff, and like, yeah. Liliko is a great character who we really get to delve into. The art's decent and the dialogue's pretty rad. It's also on the shorter side chapter count wise, but the chapters do have some girth to them. Tonally, the manga is a bit more out there than most of the manga here. It has a strange mix of surrealness with hyper-realism, and also the story is really dark. I was the same as like Sidooh over there. I say this because I think less of you will enjoy this manga compared to the other manga on this list. Probably because most of you guys are guys, but you never know unless you try. Imagine the Yakuza series as a manga, but it has a completely different tone, and writing style, and plot, and characters, and theming. That's Sanctuary. 2 boys are sick and tired of this effed up society where retirement home escapees decide what's best for the youth. So, they decide to tackle Japan in 2 ways. One boy, Chiaki Asami, becomes a politician, and the other, Akira Hojo, a Yakuza to support him from the underground. The premise is great and the story delivers on it well, with a lot of classic 80s and 90s tropes. Feels like watching those old action films. They got the shoot through the pillow to make a silent kill type shit, even though that has already been debunked, but I digress. However, the characters are the real draw of the story. They're all super charismatic and witty, which is what I like. Makes reading this a breeze. Hojo is like the definition of sleek and capable, but he still finds himself in bad situations that we see him struggle to get out of, which gives him a lot of nuance. On the flip side, one of the antagonists, a sheriff named Kyoko, is a super cool lady who's really ambitious but not quite as capable, so it's fun to see how she tries to capture the enigmatic Hojo, and how she improves at it throughout the story, which is a really cool little plotline to have. A great thing about this story is how many little factions there are. Largely, you can group the Yakuza on one side, and the quote-unquote good guys, cops and politicians, on the other side, but there's a lot of friction on each side. There are different Yakuza gangs vying for power, and the cops aren't exactly buddy-buddy with all the politicians. In fact, some of those politicians are with the Yakuza. TLDR, it doesn't get boring. And as you can see, the art is also great. Super detailed, and you know, this is the type of shit we don't see these days, man. Before the great anime inbreeding event. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of things we don't see these days.
You make me feel like I'm alive again. Alive again. Oh, you make me feel.
This manga blew me the fuck away. When you get as old as I am, when you start putting up numbers like I have, you start to realize that there's nothing that can blow you away that isn't already on your radar. I randomly picked up this manga from going through mail as per usual, and like, wow. Shiori is a mundane English teacher who wants to play the guitar. She ends up doing a ritual that makes her possessed by Jimi Hendrix, which leads to the main drive of the plot, which is that she must become a legend before she turns 28. Only problem being that she is already 27. As you would expect, she starts running around trying to find band members, slowly accumulating all the outcasts in Mitsubishi High. There are ups and downs, but they get bigger. They earn people's respect, they start making real music, and also there's a secret or paranormal music organization hunting them down. Thematically, this manga is very much about the Shiori Experience, what's the friends we made along the way. So in that sense, it can be a bit of a bore. Except it isn't. The only weakness for this manga is the cast. They're not bad, in fact they can be pretty likable, but in general they don't have a lot of depths and they also don't have as much interactions as a close-knit band should have. Yet someone like me, who mainly reads for character writing, will still completely engross in the story. Credit where credit is due, there are some pretty standout characters with surprisingly great writing, but the impact of Shiori Experience is the experience. The thing about Shiori Experience that will keep you coming back is the storytelling. The paneling and art in this manga is fucking amazing, and the pacing is perfectly tuned to get us emotionally invested while still ramping up the drama and keeping a good sense of progression. You feel like it will take forever for the band to get recognized, but just before you get a sense of boredom, boom, epic scene, moment, emotion, story has been progressed. There is an arc where every character goes on a small self-improvement journey. Each of them gets a chapter. Every single one of these chapters feels like a hyper unique short film, each with its own directing style and tone, despite the fact that they all have the same purpose and theme. It's a gigantic storytelling flex on the part of the mangaka. It's about the most glowing recommendation I could possibly give. There's literally no drawbacks, and it's unfinished. Whoops. Well, if you don't mind that, then the recommendation still stands. As a matter of fact, the amount of story and progress we have now is completely satisfactory. But again, that's for you guys to decide. Yeah, so obvious channel update because I've been gone for like 2 months. I'm gonna upload monthly now because I'm lazy and I need more than 2 weeks to read 7 manga, even if they're short. Also, college is full of evil people who want to sap away at your life force. Never go there, it's a trick. The McDonald's in your city needs you. More importantly, I will try and stream more. I am very funny and charismatic live, so please watch. I will be doing the Undertale Fight Sans route. Stay tuned.